Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss. This is my review for Magi, Chapter 201. Chapter 201. Right, my first manga review, so thumbs up for that. And I started reviewing it at a good time, actually, because we're finally getting started with the new arc. And I'm liking the direction it's going in, actually. I really am. The chapter kind of starts off with some small stuff, like Aladdin getting a new staff. Uh, Alibaba, he was training with Shah Khan. He uses Magoi manipulation and like gets one over on him. And he's talking about his new masters. And Shah Khan's disappointed that he has new masters because he feels as though he's the only one that Alibaba needs. But we see Toto talking with Morgiana, and she's pretty much saying that, I guess Alibaba's okay, but I'm much better. He can only use Magoi manipulation on the hilt. I can do my entire weapon. So yeah. But they end up talking a little bit. She's trying to get Morgiana to be more talkative, and it ends up coming up that Alibaba talked about her a lot back in the Lame Empire, and mentioned that Morgiana is unexpectedly cute. So for all the shippers out there, they got a little bit of fan service in this chapter. Um, Morgiana got embarrassed by it too, and there's this funny scene where where Shah Khan has Alibaba in this submission hold, and it's like this submission hold that Daniel Bryan does a lot, where like a what is it called, like a surfboard or something like that. And he has him like up in the air. So that was pretty funny. I actually got a kick out of that. But after that, the chapter kind of gets more serious, and Sinbad, Jafar, and maybe like a couple other guys are there with Morgiana, Aladdin, and Alibaba, and they're talking about Ren Cohen. This happens a couple weeks later. Talking about Ren Cohen and how he sent a letter of invitation, the summit that they're going to have, where like Aladdin's going to tell them about like Almatoran and all that stuff, and the history of the world and all this stuff. It's going to happen on some uninhabited island near Magnostat, and he Cohen wants someone to go like pick him up and escort him. So, and the people he chose were Alibaba and Aladdin specifically. And the reason being because one, Aladdin, just because he's Aladdin, Cohen is really interested in Aladdin, and Alibaba because the place where they're going to be meeting to pick him up and escort him is Balbad. So this is a chance for Alibaba to actually set foot in his country again. But Aladdin ends up being held back. They aren't allowed. He isn't allowed to go. One, because Alibaba says that he wants to go alone, and two, because Sinbad says no, no, you're not going, right? But Aladdin tries to get Alibaba to take him anyway, and he still says no. And when I first read this, I thought of it as a good thing because they were separated before, and Aladdin got this arc where it was just him, pretty much. Then Alibaba and Morgiana ended up coming in closer to the end. So I figured this would be another one of those arcs where it's pretty much all Alibaba. Then Aladdin and Morgiana come in at the end. But clearly that wasn't meant to be. He tells Morgiana that he wants her to stay there as well, but she shows up. She just shows up, and she's like, and the thing is, when Alibaba was talking to Morgiana, I was actually thinking of the exact scene that Morgiana ends up bringing up a couple of pages later. And Sindria, when it's like nighttime, they're having a party and stuff like this, and Morgiana asks if it's okay for her to continue traveling with them, and they say, hey, Morgiana, you're free now. You can do what you want. So I was thinking, Morgiana, if she wants to go, she's going to go. And it turns out she did end up going. And Alibaba couldn't stop her. So it turns out instead of being an arc where it's just Alibaba, and then Aladdin and Morgiana come in later, it's going to be an arc with both Alibaba and Morgiana. Then Aladdin's going to come in later. So I'm fine with that too. that's pretty much how the chapter ends. Those two leave, and Toto and Olba end up going as well with a bunch of like other kids who I guess were also from the pirate crew, Almadara. But yeah, the chapter itself was cool, but I was more satisfied with the direction that the series is taking. I like the fact that there's going to be an arc with no Aladdin for the most part. And it's not that I have anything against Aladdin. It's just that we just had Magnus die, and he was very important in that arc. He was in every chapter. He was, like very relevant in that arc. He was there all the time. And Alibaba and Morgiana weren't. So it's just good that he's out of the spotlight for a little bit. I don't want, because unlike most manga, there isn't just one main character. There are multiple main characters, and they each need to get the same amount of spotlight. And you don't want one to overshadow the other too much, especially since Alibaba is going to be the one who becomes king. It's Aladdin's job to choose the king and make sure the person becomes king, but at the end of the day, that's kind of just a support role. So you can't let him overshadow Alibaba too much. And I would, if I had to choose, I would say Morgiana is the least mainish of the characters, the most main-like of the three main characters, just because it was Alibaba and Aladdin together since, well, not chapter 1, but like chapter 2 or 3. And Morgiana wasn't, I don't really know how to, it's just, I don't feel like Morgiana by herself could actually support an entire arc. Like an entire arc with just Aladdin, that could be done. An entire arc with just Alibaba, that could be done. But an arc that's just Morgiana, I just don't see that being as easy to do as the other two. But now I'm kind of just getting off topic now. But the point is, I like the direction that the series is taking now, having Aladdin step out of the spotlight and focusing it more on Alibaba and Morgiana. So I like this chapter, but I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But that's it. This is some good stuff, okay? This is some good stuff, alright? Coca-Cola vanilla. But, yeah, that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.